First of all, I want to give Takemichi a round of applause. This man completed his mission. This man finally got to do what he did. Tokyo Revengers can finally be complete, or so we thought. I mean, Takemichi been through the works. He been through it all. He finally got to complete his mission. Got to save the people. Well, most of them at least, most of them. But we seen Takemichi grow from all the way from season 1 all the way to season 3 right now, and he's just grown so much to us. His skills are still trash.
Get him up, let him get up, let him get up, let him get up.
You guys have seen the last episode of Tokyo Revengers, so you've seen the work that Takemichi put in to grasp his success. You feel me? There's a couple things I like to talk about. Tokyo Revenger, there's some talks about Tokyo Revenger. They're saying that it might be over for this summer, for in the works. There's not going to be another anime adaptation. There's currently 2 more arcs that needs to be animated. That's going to be the Bonton arc and the final arc. The Bonton arc actually happens right after the Tenjuku arc. So this arc is kind of confusing. This is where they get into the time traveling stuff, right? And this part, Takemichi actually gets some new time traveling powers. So I don't think they're gonna animate that, but I really hope they do. Takemichi throwing them hands.
Combo! That ain't Falco! Oh!
I cannot tell you how long I've waited to see this nigga throw some hands from season 1 all the way up to the season 2. When I was watching season 1, I was wondering, when does Takemichi actually throw hands? When does he like throw a 1-2-piece knocker combo? He doesn't. So I said, fuck it. I'm gonna read the manga, see what's up. I read the manga. I got to the Christmas special. I'm like, oh shit, he's still garbage. So I'm like, does Takemichi get good? So I'm reading through the comments like a regular person, getting spoiled, and they say Takemichi does get good, but you just gotta read. So I stuck it out. I ended up reading the whole thing, and by the time I finished the book, it was already the Christmas special had already got animated. So I'm already caught up. I'm well versed in the Tokyo Revenger knowledge. I have it. But there's just a couple things that I don't understand that they didn't explain in the book or even in the anime good. Kisaki's death is one thing I've been waiting for. He's been like the main villain since season 1. He's been our antagonist from season 1, and his death couldn't be any more climactic. That's just me, because I was expecting the truck hit to be a little bit more, a little bit more impactful, because we've all seen Truck Kun and what he can do. I think he let Kisaki off a little bit. Kisaki deserved more, but he was a great antagonist for our friend Takemichi. He did good, but the fact that Kisaki wasn't the other time traveler leads us to mention who was given Kisaki information. So this opened up with a lot of information, because Kisaki knew about the time travel. He just didn't know who was the time traveler at the time. Following Mr. Kisaki's death, there's a couple pages that are missing from the adaptation. I don't think they're gonna adapt it, because this is like in the next chapter. Basically, they're wrapping it up. The missing panels I'm referring to is the part where Henma meets Kisaki on the ground, basically, and he shows. This is the first time we see Henma show some emotion. He starts crying for Kisaki. It's tearful. It's tearful, because you never thought someone like him would actually like show tears. And then of course they go into the whole backstory of Henma, which is obvious. And Henma's basic generic backstory, Kisaki manipulated him, but Henma just straight up didn't care. I think it was like a love relationship. The same way how Shifuya felt towards Bosch, it's the same thing, but there was no physical abuse with them. Kisaki just used Henma for his strength only, and Henma didn't give a shit. Henma wouldn't mind being used. The last episode of Tokyo Revengers, they left us on a cliffhanger. They left us with Kakchan in the hospital and Takemichi going to visit him. He's dealing with it rough, but I feel for what Takemichi's all bandaged up. He's very tearful stuff, minor setbacks for bigger comebacks. It just happens in the Tokyo Revenger verse. But that last chapter was the end of the book, so I understand when people were upset. They said they could have added on more, but that was the last chapter of the book. Everything else is just, a little fast forward. The next few chapters is a fast forward. So they're going into the next book. I don't know if they're gonna animate that for the next season, but I hope they do. Back to the time traveling. In that same chapter I was referring to with Henma, they also show Takemichi talking with Shifuya, and they're discussing about the future, what's gonna happen in the future, even though everything is so-called perfect for right now, right? For right now. So Takemichi goes to go back into the future. But here's the thing where I'm confused with this time travel shit, right? I read the book, I read everything. I'm fucking baffled right now. Major spoilers right here. So Shinjiro had the time travel power before, and before him was the old guy. My question is, how did the old man get the powers? What was his backstory? How did he get in contact with it first? I already know how the time travel power is already passed on, but this don't make no sense. When Naruto died in the future, when Takemichi did the final trip where he couldn't go back, Naruto died in the future, so he couldn't go back. And in a couple episodes after, in this third season, Takemichi tries to go back, and he can't. And this is where he slips up. And in that same episode, that's where he slips up and tells Hina that he's from the future. And you know, we're back to the same thing. So I'm confused. Was it because of him defeating Kiseki in the future that changed the past? I mean, did that change the future? But it doesn't make sense because Naruto's already dead. How did the power get transferred? Because Naruto in the future is still dead. Just because Kiseki died in the future doesn't mean certain things has changed, or have they? When you're using time travel in anime, it's very tricky. You need to know how to blend it properly. Tokyo Revenger doesn't do a good representation of that. Will there be a season 4? I hope so. I hope there's a season 4. I've been reading online. I don't think there's going to be a season 4, but I hope there's going to be a season 4. I've been reading online. There's hopes of a season 4 in the production, but no studios, no animation studios have come out and said that yes, there will be a season 4 for Tokyo Revenger. So right now we just gotta hope and pray there's another season. I'm not gonna spoil it for y'all, but the book really it was very underwhelming. No cap, because basically the easiest way to describe it is all that work Takemichi did was basically in vain, because at the end everybody just comes back to life. It no sense at all. All those deaths were just insignificant. I won't spoil anymore, but I won't spoil anymore. There's more shit coming.
I don't need friends. They disappoint me.